Hello all, welcome to the Bookmark. Bookmark is a series of classes that helps you to add on your preparations for various competitive examinations. Today I am here with a very interesting topic and it is about the Vice President of India. Jagdeep Dhankar is the new Vice President of India. He is National Democratic Alliance candidate and a lawyer. Former West Bengal governor, was born in Rajasthan. He is the 14th Vice President of the country and is the 16th Vice Presidential election that is held in our country. And he has secured a number of 528 among the 710 valid votes. The opposition candidate and Congress leader Margaret Alva got 182 votes. That means we had two candidates for the vice presidential election, Jagdeep Dhankar and Margaret Alva. Margaret Alva belongs to the opposition candidate, Congress leader, and she got 182 among 710 valid votes. Lok Sabha Secretary General Utpal Singh was the returning officer. Let's have a glance about the Vice President. The Vice President occupies the second highest office in the country and he is next to the President. He is elected not directly by the people but by the method of indirect election. Just like the election of a president, the Vice President is also elected indirectly. He is elected by both the members of the parliament and in this election the members of the state legislative assemblies could not participate and the nominated 12 members of the Rajya Sabha can vote. Let's check what are the constitutional provisions regarding this. The part 5 of the Constitution of India says about this under chapter 1. The Article 63 to 71 deals with the qualification, election and removal and other things regarding the Vice President. The Article 324 says the control of the election of the House of Vice President is vested in the Election Commission of India. Let's look into the powers of the Vice President. He acts as the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha and his powers and functions are similar to those of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. He acts as a president when a vacancy occurs in the office of the president due to his resignation, removal or death. And he can act as the president only for a period of 6 months and within which this period a new president has to be selected. In the case of removal, a formal impeachment is not required, just like in the case of president. This impeachment is not required for the removal of the vice president. He can be removed by the resolution of the Rajya Sabha passing a special majority. And no such resolution can be moved unless at least 14 days advance notice has been given. Going to the articles from 63 to 71, let's have a look. The Article 63 says that there shall be a Vice President of India. 64 says the Vice President to be the ex officio chairman of the Council of States. 65 says that the Vice President to act as a president or to discharge his functions during casual vacancies in the office or during the absence of the president. That means the vice president has to act as the president in his absence or in his vacancy. The Article 66 says about the election of vice president. 67 says the term of office of the vice president. That means the year which the office is for the vice president and it's etc. Then 68 says the time of holding elections to fill vacancy in the office of the vice president and the term of office of the person elected to fill the casual vacancy. The 69 says about the oath or affirmation by the vice president and 70 says the discharge of the president's function in other contingencies. The Article 71 says the matters relating to or in connected with the election of the president or vice president. So these are the articles related to the vice president. Next, going to the election of vice president. He is elected by the members of the Electoral College, and this Electoral College consists of the members of both the houses of the Parliament, that is in the Lok Sabha and also Rajya Sabha, in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and this voting shall be made as a secret ballot. The Vice President shall not be a member of either House of the Parliament or a House of the Legislature of any state. And if a member of either House of the Parliament or a House of the Legislature of any state is selected to be the Vice President, he shall be deemed to have vacated his seat in that House on the date on which he enters upon his office as Vice President. That means he has to vacate his seat. Going to the qualifications of the Vice President, he should be a citizen of India and has completed the age of 35 years and is qualified for the election as a member of Council of States. And also a person shall not be eligible for the election as Vice President. That means he is not eligible if he holds any office of profit under the government of India or under the government of any state or under any local or other authority subject to the control of any of the said governments. Going to the term of office of Vice President, the Vice President shall hold office for a term of how many years? For a term of 5 years from the date on which he enters upon his office. A President may, by writing under his hand, address to the President. That means while the if he needs to resign, he should give his letter to the President. And the Vice President may be removed from his office by a resolution of the Council of States passed by a majority of all of the members of the council and agreed to it by the House of the People. And I have said it earlier, but no resolution for the purpose of this clause shall be moved unless at least 14 days notice has been given to the of intention to move the resolution. All doubts and disputes arising out or in connections with the election of the President or Vice President, that is, it is common to both the President as well as the Vice President that if any doubt or any dispute regarding the election of the President and these are decided or held or says its decision, who is responsible? That is the Supreme Court, and it shall be final. Then going to the procedure of the election. I have told that there is an electoral college that consists of both the members of the houses of the Parliament, and those members are only eligible to have a vote, and the election is held in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and this voting is done in a secret, that is by a secret ballot, and a candidate is declared to be the elected to the office of Vice President if he secures a valid quota. That means the electoral quota, that how much, that is the total number of valid votes polled, how many votes polled on that particular day, that's 50%, or we can say that the total number of valid polls divided by 2 plus 1, that is the electoral quota, and those who satisfies this electoral quota are considered to be the winner, and the vote value for each member is 1. Each member is given a ballot paper. The voter need to mark his order of preference in that ballot paper. That means in a ballot paper, the candidate's name or in order 1, 2 or A, B, C are given. We can have these preferences in the form of 1, 2, 3, etc. In the first round, the first preference votes are counted, and if a candidate secures the specified quota, that means that what I have said earlier, that specified quota is maintained, or a candidate gets that specified quota, he is declared as a winner. And if that is not happening, the ballots of the candidates that secures the least number of the first preference votes are cancelled, and so it goes for the round 2, and in this round 2, his second preference votes are transferred to the first preference votes of the other candidates, and this process is continued. That means from round 2 to round 3, etc. This process is continued till a candidate acquires a specified quota. That means the required quota. The vice president can hold the office, and here when he achieves that quota, he is considered to be the winner. And while taking into the office, the vice president can hold the office beyond his term of 5 years until his successor assumes charge, and he is also eligible for re-election to that office many times. And so these are some of the ideas behind the vice president. Thank you.